There's a lot of people in LA, and this has not hit the media yet at all. But every interview that I've seen from somebody who lost their home, it's every single one of them is, we've lived here for 50 years. You know, the 90-year-old lady, this is the only place she's ever lived in her whole life. Those houses don't have mortgages on them. Because if you think about it, if you've had that house, that same house for 40, 50, 60, 90 years, you've paid it off. And the insurance, the requirement to have insurance is only if you have a mortgage loan. The lender will require you to have an insurance policy. Now let's go back and look at all the insurance companies that have been eliminating policies. They've been very strict on writing new ones or not writing new ones, or the worst of all, non-renewing policies. And I know that something like 69% of the policies in the Pacific Palisades were non-renewed last year for fire risk or poor fire management. So those people, my guess there's a large portion of them that got their insurance non-renewed, and they didn't get a new policy because that house has been sitting. I mean, those houses were all built in the, what, 30s, 40s, 50s, maybe 60s. That hasn't hit the media yet. This is my guess. There's going to be a ton of people that don't have any insurance.
That's going to be, then you're going to count on the federal government coming in and making everybody
FEMA
whole.
will be there, yeah. But those people are going to end up just selling the dirt, which is very expensive. Well, we need to talk about insurance.
Okay, please.
According to real estate. All right, so when somebody buys a house, there is always a provision. They have their contingencies. So when a buyer buys a house, they don't know a lot about it. So they get their due diligence period. All right, and historically there's been 3 contingencies, and this is the buyer's get out of jail free card for them to do. The 3 major contingencies are home inspection. All right, I mean, they get to have whoever inspectors they want to come look at the house during the due diligence period. They get the disclosure. This is your HOA. This is your natural hazard reports. This is disclosures the seller gives you. There are sellers required to tell you everything about this house. And then, of course, the third contingency is the appraisal. This is a third party that comes in and says, hey, is this house really worth this much? Those have been historically the 3 that have been there. Last year, California Associates of Realtors is on this. I'll give them a little bit of credit. Last year, they created a 4th contingency. This was the ability to get affordable insurance. So getting insurance has been a real problem. I mean, state of California has driven insurance companies out with that 4th contingency. Now, you can always get insurance. That's the thing. The insurance of last resort is called the California Fair Plan, right? Fair access to insurance requirements. Now, politicians named that. What do we know about that? Anytime the politician, I've been on this earth for 54 years.
It's usually the opposite of how they name it.
I've been on this earth for 54 years, and I know that anytime a politician names something, that's exactly what it's not. It is awful insurance. It is the insurance of last resort. It's not the insurance you want, and it's very expensive, and it doesn't really cover a lot. But you can get it. So we can always get insurance. Now, getting insurance up until about 2 years ago was just an inconvenience. We just knew that we had to get it, buyers had to get it, whatever. 2 years ago, it started becoming a problem, and I think that now, especially after these fires, this is going to be a crisis. We're not only going to have, be very difficult to get insurance for new houses, we're going to see the non-renewal rate skyrocket, because last year, or I'm sorry, in 2023, insurance companies lost $53 billion in California. I don't know what they lost in 24, the numbers aren't out yet, but we're only 2 weeks into this year, and they're going to lose a multiple of that in California. And it has everything to do with regulation.
So we'll pick up the conversation next time you come in right there. Jim Bottrell, everybody.